Okay, everyone, today's video, we're going to be talking about the concept of owning marijuana or being a marijuana user while also owning firearms or being in possession of firearms. This is a topic that I'm bringing up today because we're discussing how a rapper is being charged with firearms related charges because he was in possession of marijuana. This is a whole concept that I think it's an interesting story that I think is going to allow me to present you some information and educate you guys, or maybe give you some tips, I guess, or just help you understand the situation when it comes to owning guns and being a marijuana user, as the feds, I think, would declare it. This is going to be a little bit of a Monday night quarterback situation, but we're going to use it as a learning opportunity, so how some of you may be able to best protect yourself. Now, before we get going though, I do want to say thank you to Route 66 Shooting Sport Park. They're down in San Bernardino, California. If you're looking for a place to get training, they are an awesome place to do it. Whether it's just practicing on your own, or if you want to take one of their firearm safety courses where you can actually, for the first time, if you're new to guns, get practice, get education on the legalities, and have some live fire practice where they teach you how to properly handle pistols, rifles, and shotguns to get you up to speed. I know this is something that a lot of new people that might have bought their first firearm in the state of California, this would be a huge benefit for a lot of you. For those of you that are a little bit one step above that, you can get your CCW classes there, and they also host a variety of guest lecturers or guest trainers. One of them actually was Mike Glover. I saw he was doing a carbine course there over the weekend, and I'm super stoked. Hopefully I'll be able to take a class with him in a range that I actually like going to. Also, at the same time that this video uploads, there will be a post on Instagram that is going to be very worth it for you to check out if you are interested in high-quality weapon lights. Revival Defense, they're a California-based company who ships stuff very fast, has good prices, and is very competitive, offering high-quality parts and accessories. Check them out. You can use code RENO. It does not get me anything. It does save you 10% though. Whether it's the new MODLITE that just came out, they are stocking it. They're going to be good to go. I'm very happy to support this new and upcoming company that is local to me. So let's get into the topic of today's video. Detroit rapper Lil Mello arrested after feds find gun painted like American flag. So, federal prosecutors Thursday charged Detroit rapper Lil Mello with a gun crime after investigators said they found a pistol painted like an American flag that he is accused of brandishing in a rap video and on social media posts. This is something that we've seen time and time again, where rappers or people on social media post very distinct, very identifiable firearms on their social media when they maybe shouldn't be allowed to have them according to the feds, or they post that with weed. If you're going to be unlawfully possessing a firearm, it might not be the best idea to post photos of it, especially if you're someone that might be under more scrutiny by the government. The 19-year-old rapper, real name Romello Johnson, was arrested and held Thursday without bond pending an August 23rd hearing in federal court. His arrest on a felony charge of being a marijuana user in possession of a firearm follows a short investigation involving YouTube rap videos, an Instagram account, and incriminating photographs of an up-and-coming rapper. Yep. The feds sometimes do find themselves watching your YouTube videos and watching your Instagram and various social media if they're looking to get you. And so the photo they show here is a gun that looks like a Glock with a red and white stripe down at the bottom of the grip. And then we see that gun that he was allegedly found with there. Now, the investigation emerged Tuesday during a raid by Detroit Police Department when they found someone across the street. An officer spotted Johnson in the back seat of a silver 2007 Mercury Mariner, according to court records. Very specific for the case of this story. After Johnson exited the car, an officer looked in the car and spotted a magazine and grip of a firearm sticking out of a brown paper bag, according to an affidavit by Brett Brandon, a special agent with the BATFE. So they saw it sticking out. So maybe what can we say from this situation? If you're going to be now, hang on. I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. But if you're going to be in possession of something illegal or doing something unlawful, try not to get caught. Try to better conceal that, potentially, would be a piece of advice someone might give. I'm not giving that advice. Officers were familiar with Johnson from previous contacts and knew he was 19 and ineligible to obtain a concealed pistol license, according to a court filing. So because they had previous interactions with him and knew who he was, they knew he was 19 and wouldn't be able to legally be in possession of a concealed pistol. He was arrested and investigators recovered a Glock pistol from the car painted with a distinctive American flag design. Now, and that's this gun here. Johnson has a distinctive tattoo under his left eye. Investigators started watching YouTube rap videos starring Johnson, whose tattoo is visible, along with what appeared to be a Glock pistol tucked in his waistband. In one video titled Lil Mello, Back to Pressin', that has almost 83,000 views, Johnson is seen rapping in various locations, including Fairport Street. ATF agents interviewed Johnson on Wednesday, and he admitted to smoking marijuana every day since he was 14, and that he brandished the Glock pistol in music videos in Detroit, according to a court filing. Okay, don't talk to cops. Don't talk to the feds. Don't give incriminating information to the people whose only job in that situation is to allow you to be charged with a crime. Don't tell the feds. So if you are someone who partakes in the devil's lettuce, whatever it is that you want to call it, and you own guns, it's probably not a good idea to share that information to the world. It's probably not a good idea to tell the government, because regardless of how you feel about marijuana, it's still currently a federally controlled substance. So people in the state of California, like myself and many other states that have legalized the recreational or the medical use of weed, this gets you into a situation where even if you were in your state and legally partaking in something, the feds would still consider that illegal. So do you want to get yourself in that situation? You have to kind of decide what's the best course of action for you. I think the best course of action for a lot of people would probably not be telling the ATF while they're interviewing you and investigating you that you smoke weed every day since you were 14. Now, it's in quotes, Johnson stated he has free and ready access to that specific firearm anytime he wants to possess it, and that the ATF agent wrote, Johnson denied owning the firearm. Again, don't talk to cops. Don't tell the police who are trying to charge you with a crime or get information to be able to charge you with a crime that you do illegal things. And I think it's important to understand in the state of California, you could have your medical marijuana card. You could just be a lawful, as far as the state is concerned, user of recreational marijuana. That's fine. But the feds still think that's illegal. And the feds say that if you have a gun and you are an unlawful user of marijuana, you're a felon. You are committing a felony, which is crazy, right? I don't think that's how it should be, but it is the way that the laws are currently written. So this is something that I think there's a lot of stuff going on. I believe the Graham Act is being mulled around. It's probably not going to pass, but there are things that are trying to go forward to potentially reduce and remove it from that controlled substance list that would maybe make it more able for people to exercise their right to own a firearm and protect themselves, while also doing something that doesn't necessarily harm anyone, because, I don't know. Now, Johnson is facing separate charges in LA revolving armed robbery of a marijuana dealer, and that he was also accused of stealing the firearm from the reported victim. Now, let me switch over to the full camera here. I'm not here to say that Lil Mello is a great person. I'm not here to pass judgment on what kind of person he is or what he's done. I'm here to try to give you a little piece of information to maybe educate you or make you aware of the situation, because I get comments often. And, I've made videos in the past talking about weed and guns, specifically in the state of California, but this is just kind of a little case study or an example of what can happen if you partake in both. It's probably not a good idea to share with the world what you're doing if it's going to be considered illegal. That's a topic for another day. Regardless of how you feel about weed, understand this. The government is going to create various categories of people and try to determine that certain people who aren't actually violent just because they fall into certain categories, that those people should not be allowed to own a firearm. Now, today it might be weed. It might be people that like to smoke a little weed on the weekends. Those people right now are considered prohibited persons according to the ATF. What happens when it changed to be something a little bit more personal to you based on something you do? Now, how about all the gun owners out there that are in the camp of shall not comply? Do you think someone that might not be complying with gun laws, do you think the feds should have the right to arrest them and put them in jail forever? I don't think so. And yeah, that's probably a pretty terrible argument. There's probably plenty of fallacies in there, but this is just a situation where someone who wasn't really committing a crime at the time was found in possession of a firearm, regardless of whether or not they're a good person in general. I'm not going to touch on that. But it's not an uncommon situation. Police find a reason to interact with someone, then they want to press them with a crime or press charges against them, and they find a reason to get them hooked, and then you're fucked. You know, there's plenty of good cops out there, but there's a lot of shitty laws that, whether or not you agree with, can create prohibited persons. And I don't think that someone wanting to smoke weed should be reason enough to throw them in jail and make them unable to protect themselves in a lawful manner. So what do you think? Let me know what you think down below. You guys know the drill. Have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace.